All aboard? Hey there, and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. The new SunRail station will be opening soon, and on today's show, we'll bring you scenes from the ribbon cutting that was held March 29th to celebrate. And then if you have the spring cleaning buzz, we will fill you in on where you can go for free hazardous waste disposal. Community Information Director Dave Byron sits down for a chat with Health Department Director Dr. Barney Sorenson. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. Hundreds of people from all across Volusia County were all aboard to celebrate the soon-to-be-open SunRail train station in DeBary. The train service doesn't start until May 1st, but an enthusiastic crowd of about 800 people attended the ribbon-cutting event March 29th, presented by the Volusia County Council in partnership with the City of DeBary, the Volusia Transportation Planning Organization, Votran, and SunRail. After a brief ceremony which included comments by Congressman John Mica,
"Isn't this a great day for Volusia County?"
County Council Chair Jason Davis,
"Come on down, let's get on board and let's get SunRail rolling,"
and County Council member Pat Northey, the public was invited to tour the SunRail trains and the Votran buses that will provide feeder bus service to the DeBary SunRail station. Northey, who represents the southwest area of Volusia County, has been part of the SunRail project from the very beginning.
This is a very, very special day. We started this project back in about 1999, and it took a lot longer than what we figured that it would, but we're here today to celebrate the start of SunRail service into Volusia County.
SunRail is a 61.5-mile commuter rail transit partnership that includes Osceola, Orange, Seminole, and Volusia counties, the City of Orlando, and the state federal governments. The Volusia County Council has committed over $80 million over 30 years as Volusia County's share of the project. The DeBary station is the first of 2 SunRail stations planned for Volusia County. For business commuter Erica Benfield, traveling the SunRail will allow her to multitask while traveling safely on her way to work.
It's definitely a real blessing. It's the future of transportation for me and my family, and because of the SunRail, it makes it possible for us to get around faster and more convenient and safer too, because, you know, with all the distractions of kids, you have your phone, you have messages. It's a much safer way for me to transport and be able to multitask, because I'm a busy mom. I have 4 kids.
The 31-mile first phase of the SunRail will serve 12 stations linking DeBary to Sand Lake Road south of Orlando. Phase 2 will serve 5 additional stations north to DeLand and south to Point Siena. For more information about the Votran feeder bus routes that service SunRail, you can visit votran.org and click on Commuter Assistance. And for more information about SunRail, you can visit sunrail.com. Spring is here, and it's time for some spring cleaning. Go through your garage and kitchen, look for old hazardous waste materials, and dispose of them properly. Volusia County's Solid Waste Division will sponsor free household hazardous waste collection events. Those events will be at the Ormond Beach Public Works Department from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, April 11th, and at DeBary City Hall from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturday, April 12th. There's no charge for dropping off household hazardous waste.
Our most popular drop-off is the paint. The other would be automotive fluids, household chemicals, pool chemicals, batteries, that would be car batteries or any rechargeable battery, fluorescent bulbs, and anything else you might have laying around your house that's considered a hazardous waste. It's important to dispose of these type of items properly because it prevents groundwater contamination and from the chemicals or such getting into the environment and causing a pollution, or it also prevents creating a hazard in your house. We do accept sharps, however they do have to be in the red approved containers, and you will not get your container back.
Only unmixed household hazardous waste is accepted. Businesses are not eligible for free disposal during these collection events. Residents also may bring their household hazardous waste to the Tomoko landfill in Port Orange or the West Volusia transfer station in DeLand year-round for free disposal. These facilities also will provide a paint exchange program and electronic waste recycling for residents without a charge. For more information about household hazardous waste and the paint exchange program, you can visit volusia.org/recycle.
Hello, I'm Reggie Santilli, and I'm a member of Volusia Eco Advisory Committee. The volunteer group works closely with Volusia County Council and makes recommendations on projects that enhance the quality of life for our citizens. It's an honor and a pleasure to serve in this capacity. If you would like to share your skills and serve your community, why not consider joining one of Volusia County's advisory boards? We have openings on several boards. If you want to make a difference in your community, please visit volusia.org/advisory.
Let's go ahead and join correspondent Michelle Coates on the Business Beat as she explains away the mystery of baggage handling at the Daytona Beach International Airport.
I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat. Have you ever wondered how your bags get curbside to the plane? We went behind the scenes at Daytona Beach International Airport to check out a brand new state-of-the-art baggage handling system.
Daytona Beach International Airport recently completed a new baggage handling system. The original system, completed in 1993 when the terminal was constructed, was designed for individual carriers to operate separately.
After 9/11, the TSA required that all checked baggage goes through an EDS machine. It's an electronic detection system machine.
Today, the security of the flying public is ensured through practices like the adequate screening of baggage. Since 9/11, the creation of the Homeland Security Department and the Transportation Security Administration and subsequent federal security mandates, all checked baggage must be inspected.
So what this does is it ties in all 6 ticket counters. Once the ticket counter or airline representatives check your bags, it goes onto the belt. It goes through the system, goes through the EDS machine. It either is a cleared bag where there's nothing found in it and it's safe to go on the aircraft, or they call it a suspect bag, and then it gets either screened through video and cleared or gets hand checked by the TSA.
Beyond the obvious safety benefits, the new integrated handling system puts Daytona Beach International Airport at the cutting edge of baggage handling efficiency.
Our current system, we have one machine. It handles 220 bags per hour. This new system will not only tie in all 6 ticket counters, which is a huge benefit to the airport, because first it allows to market to other airlines that we have this service, which is absolutely expected by airlines these days. But it also is more efficient for the passengers, because now we can handle 660 bags per hour because we'll have 3 EDS machines at the end of the project.
Daytona Beach International Airport has invested in its infrastructure and safety efforts to ensure the traveling public's safety and highest efficiencies for the carriers. These behind-the-scene projects are a major benefit to carriers.
We are constantly doing projects, capital projects, to keep up with technologies and always improve the airport. Recently, in the last few years, we did a runway rehabilitation. We installed a new instrument landing system. We just completed, it's under the final punch list, is a brand new security system, $8 million, 100% funded through the DOT. Entire terminal building, international building, and the entire perimeter fence line is under video surveillance.
Behind the scenes at an airport can be pretty interesting. Thanks for joining us on the Business Beat. I'm Michelle Coates.
For more information, you can visit the website at flydaytonafirst.com. It's springtime and most people are ready to get their yards ready for summer. Horticulture Today's Joe Seward has some great tips to prepare your yard in Florida-friendly ways that will protect our water resources.
Hi, this is Joe Seward, and this is Horticulture Today. It's springtime, and people are very interested in getting their yards in shape for the spring and the summer growing seasons. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is how to take care of your yard in a more Florida-friendly way that will protect our water resources. I'm kneeling on a patch of St. Augustine grass today. That is by far the most common grass in the state of Florida. Fertilizing appropriately is one of the principles of the Florida-Friendly Landscaping Program. People are often asking questions, how much, how often should I fertilize my turf? This is the beginning of spring, and this is an ideal time to apply your first application of fertilizer for the year. It's important to follow University of Florida recommendations for how much fertilizer to apply. Fertilizing during the growing season is important as well, because that's the time when plants are taking up the nutrients that we apply. Currently, we are under water restrictions, and this time of the year, we are allowed to water twice a week. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to water twice a week. You have to pay attention to when it did rain and when it's going to rain, and let that guide your decisions of whether or not you really need to water this week or next. If it's going to rain tomorrow, you need to be willing to go out and turn your sprinkler system off and let it rain. That's going to save you water, it's going to save money, it's going to help save our most valuable natural resource, which is water. Apply 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch of water per application. You can do that easily by calibrating your system. That just means setting out some tuna fish cans or some straight-sided soup cans. Turn your water on for about 15 minutes, collect it, and find out how much water is in there. If you collected 1/4 of an inch of water in 15 minutes, that means you're watering 1 inch an hour, and you can calibrate your system accordingly. We advocate spot weed control only, no applications of weed and feed fertilizers. Weed and feed contains herbicides that can affect landscape plants negatively. After all, these chemicals don't know the difference between a weed and a desirable plant in your landscape. So if you're not careful about how you apply them, you could be doing damage to your landscape plants. So, spot treat only. There are very few things that you can do to your lawn that are as important as mowing it properly. Keeping your mower blade sharp. Very important. Be willing to take your mower blade in and get it sharpened on a regular basis. Clean cut grass blades are less likely to be susceptible to diseases. They will also be more water conservative. Mow often. You don't want to remove more than 1/3 of the leaf blade at any given time if possible. So mow often to reduce stress on the turf and the lawnmower. Mow as high as you possibly can. Taller grass means deeper roots. Deeper roots means that the turf will be better able to forage for available nutrients and water. That will reduce the amount of water you need to apply to the turf and reduce the amount and frequency that you'll need to fertilize to keep the turf healthy. So we've covered the 4 main areas of turf care: fertilization, watering, weed control, and mowing. If you can maintain your yard in a more Florida-friendly way, that'll go a long way toward reducing your maintenance bills and also helping to protect our water resources. For Horticulture Today, I'm Joe Sewards.
Well, let's head into the studio to join our very own Community Information Director, Dave Byron, with his guest, Director of the Volusia County Health Department, Dr. Bonnie Sorenson.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation at the University of Wisconsin has released its annual health rankings of counties across the United States. Today, we'll find out how Volusia County compares with counties nationally as well as with counties in Florida. Our guest in the studio today is Dr. Bonnie Sorenson. She's the Director of the Volusia County Health Department. Dr. Sorenson, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Dave.
Hey, this is the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation study, and my understanding is they look at health indicators for every single county across the United States. How many years have they been doing this, Dr.?
This is the 5th year
I thought,
that
yeah.
they've released this information, and as you mentioned, it's a health snapshot of every county in the entire nation.
Some 3,000 counties,
yes,
or something like this.
Right.
Tell us what sort of things they look at as they go making this analysis?
They do sort of an overall health measurement based on premature deaths and quality of life. And then they also give us measures about factors that influence health.
Right.
There's essentially 4 factors that influence our health, not only clinical care, which everybody understands, but also our own personal health behaviors, plus socioeconomic conditions of the neighborhoods that we live in,
Right.
and the physical environment in which we live.
You know, we've talked about this in the past. You know, surprisingly to some people anyways, probably not to you, but in some people, you know, hospitals and facilities and access to those facilities is not as big a factor in this study as you might expect, is it?
Right. In fact, when they're kind of grading these factors, they only weigh clinical care as 20% contributory to our health. Even though we all assume that health is all about health care, the Robert Wood Johnson kind of message is that there's much more to health than health care. Clinical care is really only factored as 20% contribution to our health.
So, for example, let's take a region maybe in West Virginia where they have a lot of coal mines and that sort of thing. Typically, you know, a health hazard kind of occupation area. That would be a big factor, I would think, for that state in a study of this type.
Exactly. Their physical environment would
Right.
weigh on
Right.
their health maybe more than the clinical healthcare system in their state.
And compare that with an area, let's say, like in Colorado Springs, when there's, you know, a lot of outdoor activities, you know, robust park system and that sort of thing, would be a positive factor in a study like this.
Yes, exactly. Colorado is often considered the fittest state in the entire country. Those folks are watching what they eat, they're being physically active, they hardly smoke, any of the people in Colorado. So they generally are considered a very fit state.
All right, so focusing this down to Volusia County, how do we compare on a national basis?
Well, the rankings reveal the health snapshot of all 3,000 plus counties across the nation. And within each state, they rank the score of each county within the state. So in Florida, we have 67 counties. And Volusia County this year ranked 43 out of 67, with 1 being the best, the most healthy county, and 67 being the least healthy county. So overall, we're not faring too well.
I was going to say, any way you cut the math, we're in the bottom half of...
Exactly, exactly.
And so what is your reaction to that? I mean, that doesn't sound very good to me. I mean,
No. Well, I think the good news about our rankings this year is that their health behaviors ranking is improving. Even though we are ranked 43 out of 67 counties in terms of our overall ranking of health, our factors, our health behaviors rank 32 out of 67. And that's an improvement over the last 5 years. So we're actually improving our own personal health behaviors. We are being more mindful of our nutrition, of our physical activity, preventing smoking and avoiding binge drinking. So those factors bode well in the future for our health. When the factors are in good shape, that bodes well for the future of our health.
So in the state of Florida, where's the healthiest county?
The healthiest county is St. Johns County.
Not far from us.
Not far from us, just a hop and a skip away. The least healthy county is Union County, which is up in the central part of Florida. When we look at the factors that influence health, our health behaviors are improving, our socioeconomic have always been our downfall. But if you actually look at the education of the folks in a community and their income in a community, it almost directly correlates with their ranking. So in St. Johns County, the healthiest county, over 82% of folks graduate and their median income is $62,000.
Wow.
Whereas in Volusia, only 62% of the kids who start high school in Volusia County graduate, and our median income is significantly lower. So all in all, low education levels begets poor job opportunities, poor income, and unhealthy behaviors. So
yeah, I was going to say, you know, I don't want to oversimplify this, but I think it's generally true that in the lower income areas, health behaviors are not as appropriate as they are in a more educated, more affluent area.
Exactly, but also in an income deprived area, the choices are not necessarily available. It's wonderful to assume that everybody should make the right choice, but if you're in a neighborhood that doesn't have green spaces or a nice park or safe streets, or has full of fast food restaurants instead of healthy options, then it's difficult for you to make that healthy choice.
Yeah, no question about it. One of the things that we've talked about in the past, Bonnie, where Volusia County has ranked pretty good on is healthcare facilities with Halifax and Florida Health and our other facilities. We've ranked pretty high on that.
Yes, we rank in the 17 out of 67 in clinical care, and as you mentioned, we've got hospitals, level 2 trauma, we have NICUs and PICUs, we have nursing schools, medical schools, family practice residency program, and we have our 3 hospital taxing districts who collect money to pay for indigent care. So from a clinical perspective, we are in pretty good shape in Volusia County.
Yet, if I recall what you had said just a few minutes ago, the facilities portion of these rankings are only like 20 weighted, the 20th
20%,
weight, 20% out of the 100%. So the socioeconomic is really where Volusia County does not do well.
That drags us down, and there's a lot of national conversation about unequal income and the haves and the have-nots, and I think there's a lot of opportunity in Volusia County from all the economic development we're seeing in Volusia. So I think the future is bright, but it's not something that's going to change in a year. Our focus, I think, is on the young people, teaching them how to behave healthy, and it'll probably take a generation before we can really move this notch.
I know at the state level and of course at your level, one of the health problems that there's a lot of focus on in Florida is obesity. And I know the local health department under your direction is really trying to focus on adult obesity, childhood obesity, and so forth. Are we making any progress? Does that translate into the improvement in the study?
It definitely does. Our Healthy Volusia group has identified obesity as really a huge public health issue. And our focus is not only on adults who are obese, but primarily on the children who are obese. And nationally, we're starting to see changes. And it's in the youngest age groups. For example, the WIC program, the program that provides infant kind of nutrition supplementation, nationally, the number of children who are entering that program, and they're age 0 to 5, the number that are obese is decreasing.
That's good.
So generally, I think there's optimism that the messages are starting to get through to folks, how to eat healthy, how to be physically active, and the younger the generation that hears that message, the better off we'll be in the long run.
So 5 years of this data, is Volusia County trending in the right or wrong direction?
Our overall outcomes are trending in the wrong direction.
I thought they were, yeah.
That's primarily due to the premature deaths that we have in our community. But our health behaviors are improving. Our socioeconomic, obviously, is a difficult issue to address, but I think the economy is getting better, and I think there's optimism.
One of the other things that Volusia County had somewhat of a dubious distinction on was the fact that we had a relatively high suicide rate in Volusia County. Is that picture getting any better, and does that factor weigh into this study?
Yes, it is not getting better. We have a relatively high suicide rate in Volusia County compared to surrounding counties. When we look at premature death, a suicide is normally a premature death. Premature death means anyone who dies before the age of 75. And if we're having teens or middle-aged folks kill themselves, those are premature deaths. So that weighs into the measure of our overall health in Volusia County.
So, okay, so you got 5 years worth of this data. What are we doing with this data to try to get better?
Well, the county health rankings, because it shows the factors, it really helps raise our awareness as to what is dragging down the health in our community. This year we have a community health improvement plan for the county, but each of the hospitals has done their own community health improvement plan, and each of them are now aware of the difficulties in our community, and each of them can be working, all of us can be working independently, but collaborating to try to move our health in a positive direction.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, you know, so often in the conversations we've had here on Volusia Magazine, it seems like one of the really important things is everyone having access to the information and everyone working together toward a common solution or improvement. Is that happening?
Exactly, it is happening. The hospitals have their own improvement plans. Each of them are working in their own little market, but we're all basically working on the same thing.
Right.
We all see obesity as not only threatening our adult population, but even more so threatening the younger population. We all see access as a problem, despite the fact that we have a robust clinical system. A lot of folks in Volusia feel that they don't have access. So we're all working to try to improve that.
How about the number of people smoking? Is that on the decline? I know it is nationally.
It's on the decline nationally. It also has declined a little bit in Volusia County, but there's just still too many people smoking, considering all the adverse information about tobacco and its effect on health. And it's probably the #1 cause of premature deaths,
right.
The effects of tobacco, not just lung cancer, but the aggravation of heart and strokes,
right.
all that together.
Well, Dr. Sorenson, if there are people out there who perhaps would like to get a look at the report, maybe get more information, how do they do that?
The website is countyhealthrankings.org, and every county health snapshot is on that website, so you can go look, see where you came from and where your neighbors are and where your friends are.
Well, Dr. Sorenson, thank you very much for sharing the information with us. You know, we got work to do, but it sounds like the work is underway.
That's right, thank you.
Our guest today, Dr. Bonnie Sorenson, Director of the Volusia County Health Department. The study is called the Robert Wood Johnson Health Indicator
County
Study.
Health Rankings.
And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio program. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a wonderful evening.